everybody, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. I am Nancy Thompson, an independent demonstrator, and thank you for joining me today. I have, this is kind of like a spin-off from last week's Facebook Live, so if you are joining in, just leave a comment so I know that you're here and I can welcome you. I've got a couple of different ways. We are talking about our designer paper scraps. Hey Angela, welcome. So designer paper scraps. I'm sure all of you have some type of scraps that you save. Hopefully you save. If you're not saving them, then hopefully this will encourage you to save them and make some really awesome cards using your scraps. Very simple. There's a lot of different creative ways and designs that you can do. So hopefully this will inspire you to either start saving your scraps or using them. And I know I'm a few minutes late. I forgot. I wanted to really show you something else, a little bonus thing. So you can, with Gilded Leafing. So I hope this, it'll turn these scraps into a really wow. So, hey Taylor, hey Sharon and Linda and Ellen, welcome. So let's get started because there is a ton of stuff to share with you. And I am just going to mute my phone, I hope. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. And so it's a hot day. I'm kind of like really warm. I ran up to grab the mail and now I feel like I'm overheated. I guess I'm not drinking enough water today. So, okay, hey Jean, welcome. Okay, here we go. So we are using the In Good Taste designer paper because this is what I have lots of scraps left over. And it's also on sale at 15% off. There are 8 designs that are 15% off. So if you haven't ordered any yet, you want to make sure the month is like almost halfway over with. So you still have a little bit of time left to take advantage of that sale. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't done anything with my scraps here. They're just in a pile and excuse me, I got a little tickle there. And these are some scraps left over as I was cutting as well. Let me see how big these are. These are about 3/4 of an inch wide, so you could use these as well and then cut them to whatever length you want. But let's get started with, we're going to start with, last week I showed you our designer paper was 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches. So we're going to start with a piece of white cardstock, basic white cardstock, and that's going to be our spin-off. So I'm just going to kind of lay out my scraps ahead of time just to kind of get a feel. And if you're using scraps from the same collection, it's going to look beautiful together. Okay, so you want at least enough so you feel like you're going to go across. It's okay if not. Let's see, let's throw this one in over here, and after this I'm going to show you how to use up these little tiny ones as well. So we're going to set those off to the side. Okay, let's get one more here. So did you love last week's demo using the envelopes, creating an envelope as well? I hope you have made some and were inspired. Okay, I think we've got enough. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my Tombow multi-purpose glue here, and I am going to just go all the way around close to the edge and then all across the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to kind of fill this up with Tombow. Okay, you could use an adhesive sheet as well, and we're going to use that in a little bit. So let's just start in the middle, I guess. I'm going to you want to make sure your scraps are straight edged as well. You know, I went and trimmed these so that way they looked good. And I think I pulled this one off here because you want them to butt up against each other and not really have any gaps in between them. Okay, see how easy this is? All right, this one's gonna, and this is actually the same exact size, so if you wanted to, you could start with a larger piece of cardstock and then trim it down. So I see a few more have joined in. Hey, Wendy and Pat and Shirley, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's finish this up with a couple more strips here. Okay, and okay, let's move this. And then we're going to trim our designer paper. Okay, see, doesn't that look kind of cool just as it is? So let's turn it over, and I'm going to bring in my waste can here and just trim into the back into it directly. So let's just trim off this. So I love using up these and creating just a, you know, an easy card, and it doesn't take much to do this. Okay, you might need to trim this bottom if you overlapped a little bit. Okay, there we go. Look at that. We've created our own little designer paper. So you could save this if you wanted to, and it might still be coming useful. Okay, so then we're going to mount this. We used Night of Navy last week. So, and we're going to just mount this on to our Night of Navy. And, okay. And then this will go on to our crumb cake cardstock layer. So simple, simple. And then you are effectively using every last little scrap of your designer paper. I love it. You know what, I should have cut. We're going to have our card open this way, so that's totally fine. So let's, it just gives it a different look, right? Let's add some dimensionals onto here. I've got glue all over the place, it feels like. Let me do this, and let's grab this. Oh, I can't wait to show you what we do with the Gilded Leafing. I love it. Okay, so let's just mount this, okay? And then we're gonna add, you know what? I kind of forgot we were working with crumb cake paper. So I think white will still look okay. So for those who didn't join in, I created my little tag by using a 1-inch strip and this everyday label punch, okay? So I'll quickly show that for those who didn't see this last week. I'm going to just stamp, and I can't see if I was in the middle. Okay, good job there, Nancy. All right, so we've got that. And we open it up and we look at the back side. So this is another great way to use up your cardstock scraps as well. Let's center that a little bit better. Okay, and we've got a different tag and a different use for your punch. So think outside the box for your punches a little bit and create some different things. Oh, good, Angela. All right, I love to hear that you are crafting along with me. So speaking of crafting, if you have not, make sure you come over to my community ink, my Create with Nancy Creative Ink community. There you can share your designs there in the community group. So it's just a great way for us to share with each other and to share creativity and inspire each other. Okay, so we're going to take some linen thread. I might have cut this too long, maybe not. Okay, and I doubled it up, so I've got 16 inches, and I'm going to create my bow here. Okay, and because I love the linen thread with this natural look here as well. So let's see. And also the community group, private group, is where I post, I can start posting PDFs and extra little bonus things as well. So let's do this. I got something on there. Here we go. Let's trim off our tails, and we've got a really fun card. Look at that. Isn't that just really nice? And I'm sticking. And then obviously I love the crumb cake because you don't really have to have a liner. It's great. It's light enough to write on your own. Okay. So what I would do to finish this off, I would use, just take, you know, some regular paper and we'll just add some designer paper. This is a 6" by 2 3/8 is what size I like to use for my envelope flap. Okay, so just add some Tombow there and adhere your paper. So this is still another way to use up some of these. You know, you might have a lot of pieces that are skinny but not enough for a whole card front. And then we'll just trim this. Okay, so there's card number 1 done. It's not just beautiful. You could add some gems in there if you want, some type of rhinestones or whatever. But we're going to move on to our next card. Okay, and let me see here. So yeah, where's my other piece? So we're going to start again with the same size designer paper. Okay, pretty sure. Yep. Okay, we'll add some Tombow glue to it just like we did, and let's use up these skinny short little strips as well. Okay, all right, so let me just make sure you've got enough that will cover. It doesn't have to be heavy. So let's find some of these small little strips here, and you want to just make sure that, well, I guess it's not going to really matter. Just start in the middle and just start laying down some strips, and I'm not even going to plan it out this time. Okay, we are just going to wing this, and it doesn't have to be perfectly even across. I guess I'm a little off there on the angle, but you could try to overlap it a little. There we go, and keep rolling across here. So let's just add this one on the end here. Okay, we're almost halfway done here. What do we got? Let's go with, let's go with some stone here. I'm just sticking all over. I must have some glue somewheres. And let's go with this gray piece, and let's finish off with this here. Okay, so let's switch it around, and I am not going to worry if everything is not like lining up this time. I'm just going to wing it here. Okay, there we go. So who likes this look? Anybody? I don't know if I like that pink. Can you envision this with some type of designer paper that you have? Let's add this one here, and this, and then let's go with this. Obviously, if you want to create some type of pattern, you could as well, but I don't think it's necessary. You know, it depends on what kind of theme you're liking. Okay, I think we're done here. All right, so look at that. So what do you think of that so far? Okay, a little different, but we're not quite done. So let's pull in the trash can again, and we'll just give it a little haircut here on the back side. Here we go. Okay, so let's finish this up, and then I still have one more great idea to show you. Okay, so I just took, because we're going to mount this on Night of Navy, I just took a thin piece, and we're going to just cover this up with on this seam. But let's first attach it to our Night of Navy. Okay, and just make sure Here we go. And by doing this, you know, on this piece of white, that just kind of, it trims you down and it gives you something versus having to be 1/8 of an inch away from the edge and so on, okay? And you don't have to be totally exact. Okay, I'm liking this. Let's just add a little bit of Tombow on here. I love using Tombow for little strips like this here as well, okay? So let's see. So we're gonna just put this to cover up that middle, and I'm going from the edge of my cardstock from the navy to the navy, okay? All right, so crumb cake. Let's finish up this card. So we've got more crumb cake here. I'm excited about the next card. I'm ready to get to that because Gilded Leafing is just such a wow, and you are gonna love it. Who has used Gilded Leafing before? Who has Gilded Leafing in their craft supplies? That's what I want to know. This is a nice look for your background. It is, Jane. This would be great just even to create a background and cut it out with some type of die or label as well. So you can get just kind of creative and do whatever you want. And Sharon says, this is great men's cards as well. Thank you, thank you. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to layer this onto here. And let's add, I think, did I have something already stamped? Got too many, whatever. Okay, we're going to use hello again. And I need to wash this stamp. Sometimes, does anybody ever have like their photopolymer stamps just kind of falling off the block? Well, that's the way this one is. Sometimes you just need to take and rinse these off because it gets kind of like, when you feel the back side, you can feel like all the dirt on there, and that it's probably the oils from your hands as well. So just take a minute and just rinse it under water, let it air dry, and then it'll be sticky again, just like new. So I have a couple, this set I've used so much, and it needs a good washing. So because I am in love with it. I think it's probably time to try another set out here. Okay, now I'm going to organize my scraps. Okay, Linda says, so now she's got to organize her scraps. She has all her cardstock and designer paper all in one box. So now she's off to doing that. So let's see. And then I would just, where's my linen thread here? I didn't have a piece cut for this. So let's just cut another piece. And I am slowly working on catching up on some Facebook Live door prizes. So I know I've got several weeks I need to go back and pick some winners. So I've got a few done. So look for some happy mail. I'm slowly working on it. I decided I had to get into some bookwork. I'm doing some bookwork. So I just need to like get that nasty bookwork out of the way so I can move on and have some creative fun. Okay, so we've got our bow here. Let's grab our mini glue dots because I'm ready to start using some of the stuff from the holiday mini catalog because that's coming up, the release date for that, and I want to share some projects with you. So okay, very simple. What do you guys think there? Oh, good. Jane has played with the Gilded Leafing and has made a tag with it. Nice, nice. Okay. So, and then of course I would add some designer paper to an envelope and you're all set to go. Okay. So now the next one, we're going to still use scraps. Let's see. We are going to pull in. So what I've taken is, let me see here. I took a whole sheet of white cardstock, okay? And let me move that off. And thank you, Linda. I'm glad you liked it. Hey, Elaine, welcome. Okay, so I've taken a piece of white cardstock and I put my adhesive sheets on the whole thing, okay? It's just easier to do a whole piece of white because I know I want to make several of these cards, okay? So if you're making several, go ahead and do the whole piece of cardstock because it's easier to adhere because you can do this and then you could kind of trim a strip to go the rest of the way, okay? So give that a whirl, all right? So we're starting with, let me pull in my trimmer here. So we need a 1/4 sheet of this, okay? So I'm gonna cut it at 5 1/2 and 4 1/4, okay? Because with this next step, I want it to be larger than what I need because you'll see as we go along, okay? So let's see. So now I'm going to take and peel off. What do I want to do here? I think I'm going to take these larger strips that I have. Yeah. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to make it simple. I'm going to just take these larger strips. So I'm going to kind of, let me lay out a few here. Okay. So I can get a little bit of a design going so I can think ahead here. Let me clean a little bit of my area here. Let's throw these little scraps back in. So that's gone. And you guys can see what I'm creating, okay? There we go. Okay, so let's make this little color. Let's add some pink into this one. It's Rococo Rose. It's retired, unfortunately. So, okay. I think that looks pretty good. You know what? This is my favorite design in here. This wood background. Okay. I think that's a little blonde. Let's go like this. And then if we need one more, let's add in some texture. But that's probably enough. Okay. So everybody with me so far? Okay, you're anxious to see this gilded leafing? Oh, wait till you see this. Okay, so take off and it's okay if you don't go quite to the edge because then that kind of gives you a little place to hang on to. So this works great with your adhesive sheets because now this whole thing is covered with adhesive. And I am going to just go at an angle. And I'm getting rid of, let's see, how did I do this? All right. So let's just start here, okay? I'm going to just kind of go at an angle, and I'm going to leave like about 1/8 of an inch in between each one. Can you all see that? Let me, hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you, okay? Whoops, that's maybe a little too much. There we go, maybe. Let's go a little bit more. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. Can you see that okay? Let me move a few more things out of my way. All right, so we've got just a little bit of an 1/8 of an inch. And I didn't go off the cardstock there enough. But it'll be okay. Once you kind of set this down, it's kind of like in motion. It's kind of like, you know, when you start that amusement ride, you're on it till you're off. So I could have done a little bit farther down here on this edge right there. I could have gone off my paper a little bit more. Can you see that? There we go. But it'll be okay because remember, we are cutting this down. So let's just always make sure you're running off. Wait till you see what happens when you do this leafing. Oh, we're going to need more designs, I think. Okay, and just press down your paper as well as you're going. Okay, we need at least maybe 2 more designs. So let's go with this, and let's just pull in a piece of scrap here. I don't think we're going to need it, but we'll just kind of go like this, okay? Okay, So isn't that look kind of pretty? But the prettiness hasn't started yet. So let's trim. I'm going to trim again. You could probably use Tombow, but well, no, you can't, because the adhesive, you need the adhesive sheets for the gilded leafing to stick to, okay? And it's definitely something you want to be careful with when you're around children, because it would be easy for them to ingest, okay? Probably wouldn't recommend using it with little kids. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. These little scraps can go bye-bye. Okay, how's that looking so far? Isn't that kind of cool? That's, I mean, you could kind of separate your paper with the strips and not use adhesive backing and just use glue eat strip individually with the Tombow, and that would work great too with a contrasting color cardstock underneath. So hey Linda, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. So we're to the fun part of using this gilded leafing. Okay, I'm going to make a little bit more room here because this stuff is messy. So I keep it in like this plastic container. Okay, it's very staticky. You just can kind of see it static, and there's plenty in here. Can you guys all see that? Look at all that leafing. Okay, so I like to keep a sponge in here, and look at all those great big pieces in there as well. But we just really need like these little pieces. So I'm just gonna kind of, can you see how it's like picking up the static? So I'm gonna just lift all these little pieces. I can see it flying everywhere. So, and then I'm gonna just take and just start rubbing it into that adhesive sheet. And wait till you see this when it's done. I think it looks so striking. Okay, let's just grab a little bit more. And this is a great way to use up all these little tiny pieces. Okay, so let me get in here, and my desk is gonna need a wipe down after this. So just make sure you do have a clear spot when you're using this. Some people use a even smaller container, but I love this larger container. It gives you room to work. It could be a little bit shallower, but at least it keeps it. And the sponge just kind of like, you could use a dauber as well, but I don't know, the sponge just kind of works it in. Okay, so I've worked in my gilded leafing. Look at that. Look how that just sparkles and just kind of makes it pop. Okay, so let's put this lid on. And I'm only like on my, let me take off this lid. Look how much, this is a new jar. Look at all that leafing in there. It is just like, it's so puffy. It goes a long ways, but it does get used up. But you could take like these big sheets here as well, and you could like lay them down on something and have these big huge pieces of leafing as well. So it's really cool. You don't know what you're going to get in your jar. Okay, so I can just see it all. Okay, so let's trim this down now. So we're going to take our trimmer. And so there's white here, so that's where I didn't have adhesive. So we're gonna trim that first to 3 3/4. You can kind of put it in your, to see whether you want to trim some off this other side, but I think this side looks great. So we're gonna trim that. Oh, it moved on me. Okay, so there's 3 3/4. You could save this and use it for another Scrappy card if you're kind of creating a lot of other different things. So, and this is just a great technique. Okay, so which end do I want to trim off? So we need 5 inches. So I'm just going to put my cutter there. I think that looks good. Just trim it down to 5 inches. Look at that. Just looks beautiful. Yeah, you really could do something with this, you know. You could look at that, how that's kind of, you could kind of create some type of herringbone type thing as well. I don't know. But I'll let you figure that out, okay? And then you can share it with me. Okay, so let's add this on, and I gotta grab some more. I didn't do another crumb cake base. Here we go. We got this, and need another Night of Navy. So I love having all of these cards on hand for a great stash of cards. Okay, so let's add some adhesive. Add this to our Night of Navy. So it's just using the same dimensions as we did for last week and earlier today. And then we'll add, put that scrap on the inside of the card. Okay, Ellen, that's a good idea as well. I'll have to, I might need another little trim because I've got some. Spots that don't have adhesive. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Did I put my labels? I think they're in here. So, who has Gilded Leafing on their next order wish list? And that's what I want to know. Have I inspired you to want to add Gilded Leafing to your crafting library? If so, then I've done my job. But there's still a lot of great ways to use Gilded Leafing. Okay, dimensionals. I got to think what we're doing here. So I'm glad you guys love this idea. So let's see, what way are we going to do? I think we're going to go this way. Yep. Let's do this, and we need some more linen thread. I didn't pre-tie any bows ahead of time, but you guys love watching me make a bow, right? Reinforce that fork bow technique, right? For those who still can't quite get it. Best thing I can tell you is just make like 20 bows in a row, and you will never forget how to make this bow. It's just so easy to do. Or linen thread, you can do the bunny ears trick as well, and that's easy. So I guess I'm off camera. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You already have Gilded Leafing. Yay, Elaine. Wonderful. So grab it out and make some Scrappy strip cards with it. Okay. So there is that one. What do you think? So there we go. But let me show you a couple other ideas, okay? Other designs. And one thing I wanted to point out, I forgot to mention, I would, like when you're making these designer envelopes, just use an address label on the outside for you to address to whoever it's going to, okay? It should be fine. You might want to just check to see if it's not too thick. You know, you might need to just put an additional postage on, but it might just make it. I haven't been to the post office to mail it yet, so there's that. Okay, so let's see. And I think I posted this card. Did I post this card online for you all to see? Anybody notice anything on this card that might be new? Okay, there's a little sneak peek on here that's coming up in the holiday, the July through December mini catalog. So it's this black and white checked ribbon here. It's lovely. It's about 1/4 of an inch wide, and it ties beautifully. So just a little sneak peek, and it goes great with this black and white paper. So okay, so here's a strip card here using that paper. I love this paper. It's just like, I think the bright colors with the black and white is just great. So the ribbon, Linda, is the ribbon. Thank you. It's the ribbon. So this is great too, with this design. So I've just got, and no matter what you do, I think it looks great. You know, this is just the strips on here. Let me move that out of the way. So they all look unique and different, don't you think? You move a few more things here out of the way. And then here's another pattern there as well, and one more. So look at them. They all look totally unique and different. So use up those scraps. All you need is to map them and add a simple tag, and you don't necessarily have to add ribbon, but the ribbon just really makes it just gives it that extra little dimension. Okay, so this paper is a host only paper, Linda. It's in the annual catalog, and with a $150 workshop or personal order, you can use your host rewards for $18. It takes $18 worth of host rewards. So technically, if you want it totally free, it would need to be a $200 workshop or personal order. Okay, or you can pay the difference as well. Okay, but the only way to get it is with host rewards. So let me show you also, yeah, where is that? I gotta look here. Look at, don't you just love looking at all these? I thought I had one, I have one in Good Taste that has the gilded, oh, here we go. Okay, so let me show you these. These were the more samples of In Good Taste here. Okay, so you can see I just did that ribbon in the middle. Here I did this kind of like, I guess it's called herringbone technique. So you could just, you know, create any design that you want with it. Okay, and then this is just straight up and down, and here's the gilded leafing there. So I did kind of like that, just even different. So I've got it kind of going this way, and then this one's going this way, and these are kind of going out, just whatever way that you want. So Ellen, the mat is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, just an 1/8 of an inch larger than your designer paper size. Okay, so, and then this is my favorite here, the In Symmetry designer paper. If you don't have scraps, you can easily cut your paper into strips and just go to town and create lots and lots of cards. But here I've got some different width of strips as well. Okay, so that creates just a lot of different dimension and texture as well. So just have fun, use up those scraps, save them, or just even cut a sheet of paper and make lots of things. Make some designer paper salad. Okay, that's what it would be called in the stamping world, paper crafting world. So I hope I have inspired you. If you love today, make sure you like, share, and follow me here on my business page. Okay, that's what helps inspire me to keep creating for you, and also helps me grow my business as well. So please do that, and you can also follow me on YouTube as well. Okay, so check out my YouTube channel, and there make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I actually just uploaded a video to create these cards, so you can check it out there. And here is come and join my community as well, the Creative Ink community. It's a private group. You should be able to search for it on Facebook and join that. The purpose of the group is to inspire each other and to be creative. Okay, and if you want to order, if you love some of these supplies and you need some things, here's my host code. You can order anything from my online store, or message me and I can order it for you as well. So I hope I've inspired you to be creative, and make sure you join me again next Wednesday. I might happen to have a Christmas idea for you. I'm going to try to work on it. If I get this bookwork out of the way, I'm hoping to have some Stampin' Time to share some Christmas ideas with you. And of course, we will be focusing more on the designer paper as well. So, because you need tons and tons of ideas to use up that stash of designer paper so you can make room for new designs, okay? So have an awesome week and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.